Everybody, and welcome back to another Godzilla battling video. I know we are late in the season, and this is not a live stream, but this is going to be the season, whatever it is, tier list. I think we're on 28, 29? It'll be in the title and the thumbnail. We're on this tier list for the season of November of 2023. It is a little late into the season. I apologize for that. You know, Thanksgiving holiday here in the States, it can get kind of hectic, but nevertheless, we are here with another video. I am not going through every single character in the game because I do not think that this season there has been significant meta shifts one way or another. I think that more or less everything has kind of stayed the same. There are, the addition of 2 new units that are very good. But overall, I don't think the meta has really been shaken up at all. But we'll talk about them individually. The first thing, though, we will talk about the old units that got adjustments. And I have them lined up in the order that the blog reads them out. And this is the adjustment blog from last month. It is Godzilla 1954, who got an increase to their attack. Mechagodzilla, oh, I have the wrong order. Mechagodzilla 1993, that got an increased HP and an increased attack, and Chibi Godzilla, who got increased HP, increased attack speed, and shortened the time it takes to change the attack method. So that is like the going from the fire breath to the heat ray. So without further ado, let's talk about them. Godzilla 1954, the classic version. I had him placed where last season? I'm looking at my tier list from last season. I had him placed right behind Shin Godzilla. In the can be better category, he got an increase to his attack. I think he's probably at the top of the B tier now, just edging out Shin Godzilla for that spot. But he's still going to get held back because the more Godzillas that they add to his pool of transformations, the less viable he's going to be in the top, high-ranking areas of the arena. I really don't think he is going to move out of the top of the B tier anytime soon until they do maybe a Mechagodzilla 1974 where, when he transforms into a G21 or the other Godzillas that he can become, they're at the level of that Mechagodzilla. Godzilla 1954 Classic, they transform to the level that you own them. But if they transform to the level that this Godzilla was, like if your Godzilla 1954 was level 20 and all the characters he could become were level 20 for 2 costs less, then he would be in the high A. But because it's the level that you have them at, and it's hard to get pulls for some of them, the more characters that they add to his pool, the less viable he's going to be in the top ranked, meta deck. So he is now just the top of the B. I think it's going to be a really tough challenge to surpass him for a lot of these characters because he has a lot of damage and he is strong, but he's not going to get into A just yet. Now, Mechagodzilla 93, who had the increased HP, increased attack, I had him about maybe, over here. Last time I looked at everything, I had him behind Fire Rodan. I think now it's probably comfortable enough to say he's like mid of C. He's still not good. He is still not good. He's a lot better than he was, and that's not saying much because you still have him competing for, a spot in your deck. He's a 4 cost, right? He's 4 cost, yeah, which is fine. But the 5 cost is a valuable slot. The 3 cost is a valuable spot. 4 is kind of an awkward play pattern, and he's just like the default character. You get him right when you start the game, and he is just basically the tutorial unit of this is your standard land-based fighter. He can hit land, he can hit air. He's fine in the beginning of the game. He's going to drop off really quickly as you progress. Just like Godzilla 1954, he is not moving out of his tier. He is remaining in the C tier. Now, we have a graduate today. We have our first graduate out of this bunch. Chibi Godzilla got an increased HP, an increase to the attack speed, and shorten the time it takes to change the attack method. We went over that. He was in the D tier last season, right behind the Dorats. I am going to move Chibi Godzilla up this season, probably like up here somewhere. Chibi Godzilla is beefy now. He actually has time to get shots on. He's cute. Right, he basically is like kind of a sub-in for Kamacuras if you wanted now, but he's not exactly doing the same like body block kind of thing that you want the Kamacuras to do. But Chibi Godzilla is not to be slept on any longer. I think he is really being slept on by a lot of the players. A lot of the high-end players are praising Chibi. A lot of the mid-game players are praising Chibi. I think that his time has come. Maybe in the future I look back on this list and maybe I rated him too high, too heavily. But he has just been nothing short of awesome this season. I've come across a few of them where my earth will hit them and they won't die instantly. And I'm like, huh. Okay, so he definitely is buffed enough that he can stand on his own 2 feet, and he's adorable, and I hope more Chibi characters come to the game, because if more Chibi characters come to the game, then I can get more of the Chibi figures of them, and I have a better excuse when my wife asks me, why are we getting more Chibi Godzilla figures? So I hope more Chibis come to the game, and I'm very pumped that Chibi Godzilla even is at the caliber that he's reached to. If he's not at the high B, like how I have him here, he's definitely mid B. He's just a really solid pick right now, and he's been in the game for a few months, so a lot of players have him at about level 20, 25 or higher. I have mine personally level 28. I know a lot of players are running a gold chibi now at level 30. He's been in the game for quite some time. He's a silver unit. Most players have him at a decent enough level. He is probably a really good pick if you have a slot in your deck you don't know what to fill in with. But, he's 2 cost. He's really good to just slot in there. So I like Chibi. We're moving on. Oh, I just realized my camera's blocking the characters, but that's cool. It's a little surprise. Godzilla 1954 Tokyo version. If you excuse me, I am pulling up the game on my phone so that I can read you exactly his stats to get a good picture painted for you with him. He costs 6. He has pretty decent HP. He has pretty good damage. His attack speed is 3.5 seconds. He can target everything, leader, ground, aerial, facility. He's got medium reach. He's got fast movement speed. He is immune to stuns, slows, burning, acid, and knockback. And he is also immune to self-destruct. And he's also immune to the effect pieces like Dimension Tide, trains, and missiles and the like. He is not immune to stuff like Psychic Chorus. You can heal your Godzilla 1954. So, what do I think about Godzilla 1954? I think that the kit itself, by itself, this is a phenomenal ability set to have. He's just immune to everything. A lot of meta stuff. Trains, he's immune. Dimension Tide, he's immune. Stun, he's immune. Slow, he's immune. Burning, no one's really using burning. And there's not a whole lot of characters using knockback in the meta right now. But stun immune, slow immune, explosion immune especially. And, what was the other thing? The no effect pieces. That is a really, really, really strong tool set right there. And he does an AoE. It's small, but he does like a little sweep. It's like a cone shape AoE. I really like Godzilla 1954 Tokyo version, Old Man Jenkins. I think that this season, especially with the rented levels, he is overperforming. I think that a major hindrance with him is a lot of players are depending too heavily on him or don't really understand how you need to be playing him, because you can work them over pretty quickly. But a lot of people are just setting them by himself, expecting him to be like your sole tank. He's not. He's a beefier version of the previous Godzilla 1954. His stats are better, marginally. But he's not like Earth. He's not going to solo tank things, right? But this season, I kind of want to put him at the bottom of S+, but I might put him near the top of S, right in front of like Waka Godzilla. I think that this season especially, he is in the top of S. I think maybe next season he moves down to the A. Although with this specific kit that he has, being immune to pretty much everything, he's going to have a lot of staying power in the coming months. A lot of times characters they'll be fun to use for a season, and then when the rented levels go away, you probably don't pick them up again until like 4 or 5 months down the line where you have any kind of levels on them. Godzilla 1954 Tokyo version is really, really strong. His kit is future-proof. Going forward, any new stun unit that's really good, he's going to be a good counter. Any new unit that is burning or knockback, he's going to be a good counter. A new explosion meta, he's going to be a good counter. A new effect piece gets dropped, God forbid, we've never seen a new effect piece drop, he's going to be a good counter. So his kit just naturally is super powerful. Stats aside, which are really good, his kit is just super powerful. He's an easy S tier. I think the top of S this season. I think maybe mid S, bottom S next season, just purely due to the amount of levels people are going to have on him. But if you're looking for like a safe investment character, I I really think that he is a good option. I really do think that he's a good option. Just like Mechagodzilla, the two alternate units we've got, both alternate Godzillas are both really good with a lot of staying power in the meta. I'm a big fan of Godzilla 1954 Tokyo version. Oh man, Jenkins. Oh my gosh, I can breathe. Now we move on to the man of the hour, Super Mechagodzilla. He's in my deck. I have him actually rented at level 20. He's pretty good. So we're just talking about him as a unit here. This list is not a leader tier list, although I do have to get a leader tier list done for you guys. I promise. So, Super Mechagodzilla. He also costs 6. Okay? He's a little mid HP. He has alright damage. His attack speed is 3.6, which I don't super like. He has a wide search range. He can attack leaders, ground, aerial facility. He has really long reach. Not like Super X long, but it's definitely long. His movement speed is fast. He slows on hit. And he has a deploy animation that takes forever to get through, but that also does damage when you deploy him. So, Super Mechagodzilla. I honestly really do like Super Mechagodzilla. The fact that you can, I'll just put him right here. The fact that you can like deploy this slow anywhere on the field pretty much is really good. It kind of is laughable that, you know, they introduced a character immune to slows the same season that this guy is the feature and he does slow. But he's really good. I mean, the range on him is solid. It's piercing. He slows anything he hits. He flies, but he counts as a ground unit because he's just hovering above the ground. So I guess that counts. And man, he's a ton of fun. I was using him today, and I don't care that like he only does the drop in and the damage on the drop in the one time when you summon him, and then it takes like a million years for it to work through his animation. And that I think is his pretty much his only downside is that his introduction animation when you deploy him for the very first time takes like 7 or 8 seconds to work through, and it covers the entire field. So your opponent, when you play Super Mechagodzilla, your opponent knows that they have at least like an 8-second window to just dump shit on the board, and you're really not going to be able to respond to it because you're not really going to be able to see where it is or how to deal with it. I mean, if you're really skilled at the game, you could probably guess what's happening. But for your average player, it's a really big hindrance. But thankfully, it only happens on the very first time that you even deploy him. Every other time, it's just a standard deploy. He comes down from the sky. No damage. I've been pairing him behind my Godzilla Earth. I've been pairing him behind Biollante in the event mode. I'm using him in the event mode and the egg mode, and I'm pairing him behind Jet Jaguar Singular Point, and he is just crazy with it. Dimension Tide with him is crazy because not only are you grouping everything together maybe for your Earth or Biollante or Mothra Imago, he's also now slowing everything that he hits. He's great range. I have him paired with Super X as well in my deck. And he's just a maniac. He is a monster on the field. Maybe next season, you know, with the rented levels gone, people start leaning away from him. But I really think he is a powerful unit. I think in the future he'll probably be all right. I don't think he's at the same caliber as the other Godzilla is. I don't think he's in the high S tier because this guy just has a kit that's all around busted and his stats are really good. Super Mechagodzilla's stats are not very good. If his attack speed was maybe a 3.3 or 3.2 seconds, I think he would be an easy S tier. He attacks a little a little slow for the amount of damage he does. Maybe if he hit a little bit harder for the 3.6, like Ultima. Let me go find my Godzilla Ultima. Ultima attacks at like, what, every 3.5 seconds or something like that. And he, I think, hits harder, too. I'm looking at him right now. Ultima stats. Ultima's attack speed is at 3.3, and he's hitting, for like 100 more damage than Super Mechagodzilla is. So, like, Super Mechagodzilla either needs more damage on that initial hit or a faster attack speed. And I think he needs a faster attack speed. I'm putting him this season in the high A tier, like right behind Kiryu. I think that Super Mechagodzilla is extremely viable this season. I think he's going to be extremely viable going, seasons into the future. This season in particular, he's high A because of the rented levels. Next season, he'll probably drop to mid or low A. But all around, I do really like Super Mechagodzilla. He provides a lot of utility to your team. I mean, you already have a really good slow in the Mothra 2019. in my opinion, you don't need to run both the Kiryu, Super Mechagodzilla, and Mothra 2019. I think Mothra 2019 is the better overall pick. Just longer range, the energy, you get longer range on the slow, you get the energy regen, and you get the stun immunity, but she's single target. This Mechagodzilla is piercing, so he'll hit multiple targets. It really depends on the flavor that you want at the end of the day, Mothra or Super Mechagodzilla. But he's a lot of fun. I am really enjoying him in the event mode. I really enjoyed him in All-Star Battle, and I've been using him in ranked over the last 2 or 3 days, ever since I got him to level rented 20. He's not actually level 20, oh my gosh. He's rented level 20. And he's been cleaning up. He's not doing as much damage as I would like, but the slow definitely, I think, is helping me out more times than it isn't. He's getting kind of close, he's hitting the slows, and then it's making it so, like, the enemy Earth, when hit with the slow, is really detrimental, because Earth can't be stunned, but he most certainly can be slowed. Super Mechagodzilla is going to slow him down. That's really good in itself, really good to slow down, you know, maybe if your opponent has 2 evolution units, he's going to be able to hit both of them, you Dimension Tide them, and he'll slow them, and he'll hit both of them with the piercing. Really good ability, really good kit. I think it lends itself to also kind of being a little bit future-proof, just like the Tokyo version Godzilla. I think all the units that came this season are really solid units that are going to last a long time. Maybe not in the most meta of decks, but definitely will have a lot of staying power for theory crafting in the future. And I think the buffs this season are not the most amazing buffs, especially for Mechagodzilla, but Godzilla 1954, a lot of players get him for free or have gotten him really early in their career, and I think him just being better is overall good for new players, and Chibi being good is also very, very good for new players, and a lot of older players, because they just have high-level Chibis that they can finally use. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry that it wasn't a live stream. That's my bad between the holiday and everything, and then, you know, Godzilla Minus One comes out tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to stream that, and then we have another stream we have a stream this Friday. Really early in the morning if you're in the States that we're doing. So I didn't want to do 2 streams this week, especially with having to do one on Friday super early. But I hope this sufficed. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.